The streets of Chicago are silent now, but everyone knows it's only the calm before another storm. Tommy Egan's world is about to explode again, new enemies, new alliances, and new blood ready to fight for the throne. The latest episode titles from Power Book 4 for Season 3 give us a clear warning. This season isn't just about power anymore. It's about survival. Every title holds a secret. Every name hides a message. And together, they paint a picture of a city ready to burn. So, what exactly do these episode titles tell us about Tommy's next move? Let's break it all down. The first episode title, Rebuild or Ruin, sounds simple, but it carries a heavy weight. After the chaos of Season 2, Tommy stands at a dangerous crossroad. He's got power, but it's fragile. One wrong move, and everything could fall apart. This title hints that the story will open right where the last season ended. A city divided, loyalties broken, and Tommy trying to pick up the pieces of a crumbling empire. Rebuild or Ruin isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about deciding what's worth saving. Tommy has always been a man who builds his world with his own hands. In Season 1, it was about survival. In Season 2, it was about expansion. But now, it's about control. This title could mean he's trying to rebuild trust with Diamond after their tense fallout, or maybe he's attempting to rebuild his own image in a city that now sees him as both a savior and a monster. Chicago isn't New York. It's colder, meaner, and full of people who don't forgive easily. Tommy's next chapter might start with him trying to glue together what's left of his alliances. But we all know rebuilding always comes with a cost. Think about it. Every time Tommy builds something, someone else wants to tear it down. Remember how Vic's betrayal in the last season changed everything. Rebuild or Ruin might show Tommy facing the consequences of those choices. He could be forced to clean up the blood he didn't spill, or maybe the blood he did. The title also suggests a theme of rebirth, that after destruction comes a new order. Maybe Tommy has to destroy part of his old empire to create something stronger. Maybe the ruins aren't a loss, but a foundation. If we pay attention to Power's history, the first episode of any season always sets the emotional tone for what's coming. It plants the seeds. Rebuild or Ruin sounds like a challenge, a question for Tommy and everyone around him. Can they rebuild what they've broken, or are they destined to destroy it all again? In a city where everyone's chasing the same thing, respect, revenge, and survival, rebuilding might just be the most dangerous thing to do. This title also speaks directly to Tommy's character. He's a man who only moves forward. But to rebuild, you sometimes have to look back. He might have to face his past, his mistakes, and his ghosts. The question is, does Tommy Egan know how to rebuild without burning something else down? Or is he trapped in the same cycle that's followed him since New York? Rise, fall, repeat. The word ruin is important here. It's not just about failure. It's about destruction that can't be undone. If Tommy chooses the wrong ally, makes the wrong deal, or trusts the wrong person, it could lead to more than just losing power. It could mean losing everything: his business, his relationships, even his grip on who he is. The streets have changed, and the rules aren't the same anymore. In Season 3, Rebuild or Ruin feels like the perfect warning. So as the city rebuilds its alliances, and Tommy rebuilds his empire, we'll see whether the man who's built his name on chaos can finally control it, or if this time the chaos controls him. Family. It's the one word that always haunts Tommy Egan. Every time he tries to build an empire, family pulls him back, sometimes to protect him, sometimes to destroy him. The second episode title, Family Ties, sounds warm on the surface, but in the world of power, it's never that simple. Here, family isn't about love, it's about leverage. It's about blood being used as currency and loyalty being tested until it breaks. If Rebuild or Ruin is about fixing what's broken, Family Ties dives into what can't be fixed. It could be Tommy trying to reconnect with what's left of his bloodline. Or maybe it's about realizing that some bonds can't be trusted anymore. From the moment we met Tommy in the original Power series, we saw that family means everything to him, even when it hurts him. Whether it was Ghost, Kate, or his long-lost brother JP, Tommy has always been torn between protecting family and protecting himself. In Force Season 3, that battle is only going to get darker. The title Family Ties might hint that the story turns inward this time, not just the street wars, but the personal ones. Tommy's past has always been like a shadow that never leaves, and this could be the episode where that shadow takes shape again. Maybe we'll see his mother Kate make a surprise return, trying to manipulate him the way she always has. Maybe we'll see JP or D-Mac get dragged deeper into Tommy's world, forcing him to choose between keeping them safe and keeping his empire alive. In Power, family always costs something, and Tommy's about to pay a heavy price. But this title could mean more than blood relatives. Family Ties might be about the families we create in the streets, crews, alliances, and the people who fight beside us when no one else will. Diamond, Jennard, and even Vic could all be part of this twisted idea of family. The streets don't care who your real blood is. Loyalty is what defines your family here. Yet, loyalty has always been the hardest thing to keep in force, seasoned to prove that everyone has a limit. Maybe in this episode, we'll see those limits snap. There's also something ironic about the timing. After all the betrayal, Tommy might finally be realizing that no one stands with him for free. Every handshake hides a deal, and every deal hides a secret. The ties in the title might symbolize something tightening around Tommy, a trap made by people he trusts. A son trying to prove himself, a mother trying to control him, a partner trying to outsmart him, all connected by invisible threads. In Chicago, family ties can either hold you together or strangle you slowly. And if we look at Power's storytelling style, the second episode of a season usually peels back the emotional layers. It's the calm before the real chaos hits. Family ties could bring moments that test Tommy's humanity. Maybe he'll be forced to protect someone he loves by hurting someone else. Maybe he'll be reminded that every time he tries to do the right thing, someone close to him bleeds for it. It's the kind of emotional tension that defines the Power universe, love twisted by ambition, and family poisoned by secrets. This title could also signal a major crossover moment. Fans have been waiting to see how Tommy's world might reconnect with the larger Power universe. Could this be the episode where we hear a familiar name, maybe Tariq, Tasha, or someone from Raising Kanan? Family Ties doesn't just describe Tommy's bloodline. It describes the entire Power legacy. Every show in the universe connects through family, through bloodlines built on crime, revenge, and destiny. If we read between the lines, Family Ties might even be the emotional breaking point for Tommy, the episode that forces him to decide what kind of man he really is. Is he still the same hot-headed street soldier who acts before he thinks? Or is he learning that real power isn't in control, but in restraint? The old Tommy would kill anyone who crossed him, even family. But maybe, just maybe, this season shows us a man trying to change, even if the world won't let him. Still, we know one thing for sure. In Power Book 4, Force, love is never pure, and family is never safe. Family Ties is a promise that those close to Tommy will either save him or destroy him. And as the season unfolds, every decision he makes will pull another thread in that web until it finally snaps. Because in this world, blood might make you related, but loyalty decides if you live long enough to call it family. Every empire has a foundation, but Tommy Egan's has always been built on blood, the kind that's spilled, and the kind that runs through his veins. The third episode title, Bloodline Business, hits like a warning. It tells us that this isn't just about street money anymore. It's about legacy. It's about whose name carries weight, whose past comes back to claim what's owed, and what happens when the sins of one generation become the currency of the next. In the world of Power Book 4, Force, blood is both a blessing and a curse, and this title suggests that Tommy is about to learn just how heavy his name really is. The word bloodline carries history. It's not just DNA, it's destiny. For Tommy, that destiny has always been stained. From his twisted family roots to his violent climb through the ranks, every step he's taken has been defined by who he is and who he's running from. Bloodline Business feels like the episode where his past finally catches up with him, where old ghosts start knocking on new doors. Maybe this is where the story starts to pull back the curtain on Tommy's lineage, revealing secrets that even he didn't know. Could there be another connection to the Egan name hidden in Chicago's underworld? Someone tied to his past, or worse, to his future. But there's another side to that title. Business. In Tommy's world, business and blood always mix, sometimes too easily. Maybe this episode marks the point where personal and professional collide once again. Perhaps Tommy is forced to make a deal that hits too close to home, a partnership that ties his family's name to his empire's survival. Every move he makes, every decision to expand, could come at the cost of the people closest to him. We could see Bloodline Business explore the darker side of Tommy's ambition. He's been trying to build an empire in Chicago that's bigger and smarter than anything he had in New York. But to do that, he might need to embrace the very parts of himself he's been trying to bury: the rage, the impulsiveness, the cold instincts that made him a legend in the first place. This episode might force Tommy to face the truth that the bloodline he's inherited isn't something he can escape. It's something he has to own. Because in the streets, power isn't passed down. It's taken. There's also a deeper layer here, the theme of inheritance. Bloodline Business could dive into how power, violence, and trauma get handed down like family heirlooms. Maybe D-Max starts showing more of Tommy's ruthless side, proving that no matter how hard Tommy tries to protect him, the streets have already marked him. Maybe JP, the brother who's tried to stay clean, gets dragged into the chaos too deep to escape. It's the same pattern we've seen throughout the Power universe. No matter how far you run, the past finds you. Because blood remembers, the phrase Bloodline Business could even signal a power shift. In the underworld, names matter, and the Egan name still carries fear and respect. This could be the moment Tommy starts to realize that legacy isn't just about survival. It's about domination. Maybe he starts claiming his name proudly, building something that's not just an empire, but a dynasty. A name that will outlive everyone who doubted him. But to do that, he'll have to embrace every dark part of himself, the same darkness that destroyed Ghost, that corrupted Tariq. And that's now spreading through Chicago's streets like fire. There's also a chance this episode brings new blood into the mix, maybe a rival family that claims they have a connection to Tommy's past. The Chicago crime world thrives on lineage and reputation, and if another crew challenges Tommy's bloodline, the results could be explosive. Imagine a new gang that isn't just after territory, but after Tommy's identity, people who think the Egan name doesn't belong in Chicago. That kind of threat doesn't just lead to war. It leads to legacy being tested in blood, emotionally. Bloodline Business could be Tommy's turning point, the episode where he realizes that building an empire isn't about what you own, but what you're willing to sacrifice. Maybe he starts to see that his bloodline isn't something that defines him, it's something he defines through action. It's the moment he stops running from who he is and starts using it as power. After all, in this world, your bloodline is either your weapon or your weakness. Tommy's choice will decide which one it becomes. By the end of this episode, the message will be clear. Legacy doesn't come free. Every drop of blood spilled is a payment toward the name you're trying to build. For Tommy, Bloodline Business isn't just another job, it's a battle for identity, legacy, and survival. It's the episode that reminds us why Power Book 4 Force isn't just about crime. It's about what happens when ambition becomes inheritance and blood becomes destiny. A few seconds. That's all it takes for the teaser of Power Book 4 for Season 3 to make one thing clear. This isn't just another chapter in Tommy Egan's rise. This is war. Not the kind fought with guns alone, but with hearts, minds, and ghosts of the past. The teaser doesn't scream. It whispers danger, showing flashes of smoke curling above the skyline, the distant echo of sirens, and Tommy standing in the middle of it all, calm, cold, and ready. Every frame feels like a message from the streets, a warning that the game has changed. And so has the man running it. The teaser opens with Chicago itself, gray skies, restless energy, and an eerie silence that says something big is coming. The city almost feels alive, like it's watching Tommy, waiting to see what he'll do next. His voice cuts through that silence, something about loyalty, about not backing down. It's not loud or angry, it's steady, almost to calm. That's what makes it chilling. We've seen Tommy lose control before, but now he's calculating, patient. That shift in tone might be the biggest hint the teaser gives, that Season 3's Tommy isn't just surviving anymore. He's planning. He's evolving. Then the flashes begin. A meeting table surrounded by men in suits, money, drugs, tension. A familiar face turning away from Tommy, a street deal gone wrong. A body dropping to the ground. The editing is sharp, cut like a heartbeat, each frame pumping more adrenaline. But what's missing is just as important as what's shown. We never see who Tommy is truly up against. The camera keeps their faces hidden, showing only glimpses, hands lighting cigarettes, eyes watching from car windows, the sound of laughter that doesn't feel friendly. That's Power's signature move, make the danger invisible until it's too late. And then there's family. The teaser gives us a few fast glimpses, D-Mac looking older, tougher, angrier. JP watching something burn. Maybe it's their business. Maybe it's their peace. One thing's clear, Tommy's fight isn't just on the streets anymore. It's inside his home. The camera lingers for a split second on a framed photo. It's out of focus, but it looks like it could be of JP and D-Mac. A reminder that no matter how far Tommy tries to push family away, it always finds its way back. And this time, it might cost him more than money. Midway through the teaser, we get the first real explosion, both literally and emotionally. A car goes up in flames, Tommy walks toward it without flinching. And a single line drops, "If I can't rule it, I'll burn it." That one sentence feels like the whole season's tone. A man who's done trying to fit in, now ready to take over or die trying. The line isn't just about Chicago. It's about control. It's Tommy declaring war on anyone who stands in his way, even himself. Then come the faces, quick cuts of familiar characters, each one looking more desperate than the last. Claudia Flynn, bruised but still dangerous. Diamond, standing in a dimly lit room, his expression unreadable. Jennard, maybe in custody, maybe plotting his next move. Vic Flynn, a shot of him staring into a mirror, eyes cold, hinting that his story isn't over yet. The teaser never confirms alliances, but every look, every glare, every small movement suggests betrayal waiting to happen. This season doesn't seem to have heroes, just survivors. As the teaser moves toward its end, the pace slows. The camera returns to Tommy, standing alone, staring out over the Chicago skyline at night. The city lights flicker like embers, and a storm cloud rolls in. The background music fades to a low hum, a heartbeat, steady but heavy. Tommy's breathing matches it, slow, focused. Then his voice again, quiet but sharp. This time, it's all mine. It's not pride. It's not ego. It's promise and threat. The screen cuts to black, and a final shot flashes, a bullet casing hitting the floor. No faces, no answers, just that sound. That's how the teaser ends, not with resolution, but with tension so thick it almost vibrates. It leaves you asking every question at once. Who betrayed Tommy? Who's coming for his empire? And most of all, how far will he go before the bloodline he's fighting to protect becomes the one that destroys him? The brilliance of this teaser lies in what it doesn't show. There's no big reveal, no death scene, no crossover tease, just emotion and danger layered between silence. It's restraint, and that restraint makes it terrifying. It tells us that this season won't rely on shock value. It will rely on pressure. Every scene will tighten that pressure until something or someone explodes. Power Book 4. For Season 3 looks like it's about to strip Tommy down to his core. No backup, no safety net, no one to trust. Just him, his ambition, and the ghosts of everyone he's ever lost. The teaser promises not just action, but evolution, a transformation from soldier to king, from survivor to ruler. But in the power universe, kings never sit on their throne for long. And as the final echoes of that teaser fade away, one truth stands above all in Chicago: power isn't taken. It's earned in blood.